Hey guys, it's EPL News here and welcome to my review of Manchester City versus Everton. The game ended 1-0 and Manchester City have won 4 straight league games for the first time since the end of last season. I think that's an absolutely incredible stat, and they're showing some good form at the moment at Manchester City. Manchester City are only 3 points behind leaders Chelsea. Sergio Aguero though has a knee ligament damage, which is very bad for them. He's a sensational footballer. I don't think he's the be-all and end-all of Manchester City. I completely disagree with that. I think Manchester City are a lot more than just Sergio Aguero, and it will be a loss. But I don't think that it will mean that they've got no chance of getting to the getting into the next stage of the Champions League and winning the Premier League title. Everton have now only won 1 in their last 6 league games, and they stay 11th in the table. Manchester City moved into obviously 3 points. Have closed into Chelsea now with a hard-earned win over Everton. It was a true champions performance, that game. A Yaya Toure penalty after Phil Jagielka was controversially kind of knocked off his balance by slightly knocked off his balance, by James Milner to secure the 4th straight win. But the victory came at probably the most key. If you wanted something from that game, you would want fitness for this midweek game. They want their best team out of that game, and I don't know, but it's the most crucial thing is Manchester City get into the next stage of the Champions League, in my opinion. I think that's the most important thing that they could possibly want. If they could either win this game or the Rome game, they choose the Rome game every day. Without Sergio Aguero, they are really losing a superb talent. And it was kind of a bit emotional. I mean, he was crying and stuff, and it's really sad to see such a good player be out from have such a injury prone status as a player. It's just really disappointing to see. Everton did have their chances with Romelu Lukaku with an absolutely sublime volley, blasted it, and Joe Hart. I mean, I'd say it was a good save. It was a good save. I don't think it was outstanding because it was a good save, but it wasn't outstanding. If he'd let it in, people probably would have been saying maybe. I mean, it was quite close to him. All he had to do was stick his hand out. He didn't actually have to dive or anything like that. So I think it's a save you'd expect a Manchester City goalkeeper to make, in my opinion. And only the top goalkeepers in the world would have made that save. It's not outstanding, but it was a good save. City and obviously now, but the win obviously came at the huge cost. They will already be without suspended midfielder Toure for Wednesday's crucial Champions League tie. Well, Vincent Kompany is obviously struggling with a hamstring injury, and David Silva is recovering from his knee problem. Now Sergio Aguero is missing after he limped off. The mood for City fans inside the Etihad had been very boisterous after the news that Newcastle had beaten Chelsea, but then it started to. The atmosphere really dropped in the stadium. Everybody was so quiet. I wasn't there. I was watching it on TV, but the atmosphere completely went after Sergio Aguero left the pitch. I mean, when he got injured, they were singing his name a bit, but after that, the atmosphere just completely went. Aguero had managed to get to his feet, having followed a Sheamus Coleman tackle. However, his knee appeared to hurt a bit when he went under pressure from Mohamed Besic, and then he just kind of fell over. The 26-year-old went to tears. However, he was replaced by Jose Pozo. I think that's how it's Porozo or something like that. I'm not too sure how to say. He's yet to start a senior game for Manchester City. He came off the bench against Sunderland. The exit for the talisman threatened to derail the champions. In the tetchy game of 6 bookings, defender Ezequiel Mangala was fortunate to escape just a yellow. It was a horrendous tackle. It was an ugly flipping kung fu kick on the back of Samuel Eto'o. It was absolutely horrendous, that tackle. I've never seen that. I'd expect that kind of tackle for someone like Mascherano, who's a flipping crazy lunatic. It was a stupid tackle. What was he thinking? Like, it wasn't a tackle, sorry. It was a stupid way to win the ball. Like, why would you want him going with your foot high when you're trying to win a header? Use your flipping head, mate. Not even just use your head. In 2 sentences, use your head. Use your head. Don't do something stupid. And use your head because you should head the flipping ball. It was absolutely ridiculous. It's a red card all day long. Man City were lucky there. They looked a little danger when Yaya Toure's pass found James Milner on the edge of the area, but referee Andre Mariner left Everton silent as he pointed to the spot. This is when Phil Jagielka came in with the tackle on James Milner. This is probably the dream game for any football analysis because there's so much action in it. James Milner, in my opinion, I'm just going to say it straight out, my opinion, is not a penalty. Football is a contact game, and that was the slightest of touches. The slightest of touches. The fact James Milner gets up is completely irrelevant. It was the slightest of touches. If James Milner goes down, it's not a dive. I don't know. I don't think it's a dive because there is contact, and he kind of may have been knocked off balance, but it's not a penalty. I'm all for a bit of pushing, a bit of jostling in the box, and I think that's a good thing, and it should be allowed to happen. It shouldn't be given as a penalty. People shouldn't be punished for that. For me, it's just not a penalty. Football is a contact game. People should be able to make tackles in the box without people falling over and giving a penalty. With the goal off the pitch, it was left to Yaya Toure, and you know what? Credit to Yaya Toure, dispatches the penalty absolutely brilliantly. That puts City ahead, but far from their fluent best against Everton, who'd only won one game in the past 6. If they're really embarrassing points total compared to last season. It might have been different had Hart not stopped the brilliance of Romelu Lukaku with his one hand. Kevin Mirallas also had a goal-bound effort, volley deflected. That was a brilliant piece of play again from Everton. They were very, very good in at moments during the game. Their passing was superb. It led to a pullback, and then Kevin Mirallas volleyed it with his right foot. It took a deflection. Tim Howard's also with an absolutely outstanding save against Pozo, or however he says his name. Sorry. Unlucky. Pozo he wasn't bad. In the first half, he was completely missing. He was a ghost. Second half, he was a lot better. He came off. Replaced by Edin Dzeko, but you know what? It's nice to see Manchester City actually playing teenagers and giving young players chances from their youth academy. I'm pretty sure he's from a youth academy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or they might have bought him. I don't know, but he looked interesting. I don't think he's a quite out and out striker. I think he's more of a kind of number 10 kind of player. I've never seen him play before, other than today. So I thought Manchester City put in a decent performance. It was a game where they really had to dig deep and find the result. And I thought Manchester City have got a chance of winning this title. 3 weeks ago, I did a review video, and I said that they didn't. I said Chelsea were favourites, but I think Man City are the only other people that can truly challenge Chelsea, and I think Man City have got a good shot, and I'm not counting them out. I wouldn't count them out 3 weeks ago, and I'm obviously not going to count them out now, but I really don't count them out of this title race. They've closed the gap to 3 points. It's been really strange because nobody's picked up on the fact Chelsea are dropping. They've been dropping points for quite a while now, and nobody's picked up on it. People have been saying, "Oh, invincibles" and stuff like that, but they've been drawing games they shouldn't have drawn. They've drawn against Manchester United, drawn again. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm not saying they should have won these games. They should have won these games. Sunderland, Man United, losing to Newcastle today. Who else have they drawn to? Manchester City. They drew to Manchester City. They should have won that game. They had the more players. They had the position where they were winning. They should have won these games, and they haven't won them. And that's why Manchester City have caught up. And I think Chelsea is starting to lose it a bit. I think they're gonna. I think they're honestly getting derailed at the moment. They're getting derailed. They really are derailing at the moment. But that's a completely different point. We'll go into that when I do my Chelsea Newcastle review, which you can watch. But yeah, Everton are in a bit of spot of bother at the moment. I think their squad depth, Lukaku is not living up to his. The squad depth is good. Sorry, I was saying, but Lukaku really isn't. I don't know. He's just not living up to what the £28 million price tag. I don't think he was ever worth £28 million. Probably worth about 20. But that's not his fault. But he's just not living up to the striker he was last season, nor the striker before that for West Bromwich Albion. I think Samuel Eto'o, he's doing a really good job there. He's been a proper leader. Ross Barkley was missing today, and I think when he came in, he made a huge difference to the game. Taking players on. Kevin Mirallas and Ross Barkley are probably Everton's two best players. Aidan McGeady not given a chance off the bench. I thought I would have started him ahead of Coleman if I was going to play a right midfielder, and then I would have. I really wouldn't have gone with Eto'o in that cam. I think he's probably better out wide and stick Barkley through the middle. That and Pienaar as well. I don't know what's happened to Pienaar. Pienaar was just performing outstandingly for Everton, but he was not missing today. He was really missing today. They needed someone like that on the pitch, in my opinion. I'm gonna give the man of the match to. This is a really interesting man of the match, but it's got to be James Milner. He was absolutely phenomenal today. James Milner played out of his skin. He should start for England. I've been saying that for a while now. James Milner should be starting for England. either right wing or left wing, whatever, or central midfield. He needs to start for England. He's starting for Manchester City. Okay, he has to start for England. There's no two ways about it. He's one of England's best players. In quality, he's not the best, but what he provides to a football team is something that all football teams need. He is the Ji-sung Park of Manchester City. Every team needs a Ji-sung Park. A Korean that can just run all day long, Englishman who can just run all day long. Every team needs a player that can run all day long. I thought he was absolutely outstanding, as was Sami Nasri, picking up beautiful spots throughout the entire pitch. And also, Yaya Toure is back. I said it last week, he is still back. Another decent performance from Yaya Toure. I think he's playing a different role for Manchester. He doesn't do as many driving runs, but he's dictating the play. And I think people expected too much from Yaya Toure last season compared to this season. That was an amazing season. He's now 30. Okay, he is starting to decline. I'm not going to deny it, but he is still a brilliant footballer, and the amount of stupidity people say about him being rubbish. He is the core of Manchester City. Okay, Company, Yaya, Aguero, the core of Manchester City. They're missing those three players for their own game. I predict Manchester City. I don't think they can do it. I don't think they're going to go through. Anyway, this has been your opinions here. Please comment down below, Manchester City fans, what your chances you think, Champions League, your title hopes. Everton fans, comment down below. Any players you want to sign in the transfer window. This has been your opinions here. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.